Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today's video is 8.3.2 for exploration, path number 2, and we're going to attempt the nodes Tech Intimidation, Retaliate, Bravado, Rubber Band, and Imperial Defiance. The defenders are Kitty Pryde, Immortal Abomination, Stryfe, Stealth Spidey, Professor X, and Black Widow Deadly Origin. Now this path does not require a striker, but I would suggest you to bring it anyway. It will help you with extending combos and get some more extra buffs. The suggested champions for this path are tech champions with multiple armor ups, so your Omega Sentinels, your Nimrod, your Civil Warrior, your Red Skull. All of these champions will work well, and you can also use tech champions with 1 or 2 armor ups. They will also work, but the more armor ups the better. The boss is going to be Dormammu with Brute Force, Even Punishment, Fight or Flight, and Science Strat. We'll be taking him down with a Scorpion, more on him later in the video. So let's jump into the path and walk it through together. The first fight is going to be against a Kitty Pryde. Now I'm just going to use an infamous Iron Man. There's only 1 armor up, but you only need the armor to apply those cowardice debuff. And I will try to block the SP1 so I can get some more of those furies on myself. And yeah, it's like a slow slog, just building up to my SP2 and then throwing it with a heavy, then into an SP2 so I can do some damage with a power burn. So that is the whole idea behind the fight, and to bring it down. Iron Man Famous makes sure relatively easy work for all the mutants on this path, because he can convert all of those prowesses into an extra energy damage, and he can also control the power, so he is great for this path. The next defender is going to be an Abomination Immortal. Now make sure that you bring in a poison immune champion, because if you get to 10 poisons on yourself, he is going to melt you away. You're gonna die straight away. So just bring in a poison immune champion, just like I brought in Nimrod, and all I'm doing is pushing him to an SP1 and letting him throw his SP1, and I will block it. The more I block because of Retaliate, I will get Furies and I will increase my damage. And the whole idea is to get to an SP2 and throw that out so I can do some good damage to him. Just be wary about the unblockable that you see, but apart from that, pretty straightforward fight. Just make sure that you have poison immunity before you going in front of Immortal Abomination. Next defender is going to be a Stryfe. Now it's very easy to deal with. The only problem is going to be his he might go invisible and you might miss, but I have an Omega Sentinel rank 5, so I'm gonna make sure that the track debuff is on him, so I don't need to worry about the miss. I think during this fight I mismanaged my debuffs, and there was no track on Stryfe and I got some hits on me. So you just have to be careful about that. Now if you don't have a champion that has easy access to track, I would say play slow, keep an eye on his invisibility and always push him to an SP2, and you can always block the SP2 to get more furies just like that, and the more the furies the more damage you can do. So you have to be a bit careful, but his fight is manageable also without Omega Sentinel. Next defender is going to be a Spider-Man stealth suit. Again, pretty simple defender to deal with. Just keep an eye on his evade and try to push him to an SP2 because it's easier to block and get those furies on you. So yeah, just get those furies and keep throwing those SP2s. You can bring in other champions, other tech champions, they can also work well. I would suggest you to bring champions that have more armor up so you can get through and do quite a bit of damage whenever you throw your specials. Professor X is probably the most annoying fight in this part, so I would say if you have an Omega Sentinel, bring that and keep the tracking debuff up. I was just trying to showcase different champions, so I used Viv Vision. In hindsight, a better fight would have been with Omega Sentinel. So again, only thing difficult, just like Stryfe, is going to be handling the miss after the falter is applied, so just be careful about that. If you have Mega Sentinel, she will be the best champion for this one, but if not, you can still do with others. Just keep an eye on the cooldown and just play around the falter and you should be fine. The final defender before the boss is going to be a Black Widow Deadly Origin. I am just going to use Iron Man Infamous because he is immune to shock, so I can get through this fight. But I do make a lot of mistakes and I make a hash of this fight. I'm able to get Black Widow Deadly Origin down, but you will see how many mistakes I made. I should have just blocked the specials when I'm trying to evade them. I would have gotten more fury, so this is how not to do a fight. So yeah, just getting in and trying to throw my heavy attack here. For some reason, I think it's the second time that I missed out, but you will see quite a few mistakes, so just try to avoid them and bring in the right champion to bring her down. It's a very easy path, but it's still a little annoying because it takes a bit to bring down the defenders. The boss fight is going to be Dormammu. Now, in hindsight, I would say he is the easiest boss, not Mephisto that I've on my easy path video. So if you're doing it for the first time and you get across this video first, I would say attempt Dormammu because he's much easier to deal with. Now, every time you use a parry, you are going to remove one you remove one buff from yourself and Scorpion. To counter that, just use champions that have very less armor ups and you should be good. And with Scorpion's power sting, I have started with the Rupture pre-fight, and that is also doing damage to Dormammu whenever he will throw a special. So all in all, with any science champion, it's a really fun fight. I would say just keep Dormammu to an SP1 and you should be good here. Now if I do, now there is also fight and flight, so every 12 seconds if you're near Dormammu, he will go unstoppable. If you're away from Dormammu, you will go unstoppable, which is easy also to deal with. But if he goes unstoppable, you can do a parry and that can remove it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and you found it helpful. I'll be back finishing off before Necropolis is launched. So stay tuned guys, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.